Ultimately, well, our penchant for foreign goods has become a kind of cancer, hindering our progress as a country. Worried by the influx of Chinese Adire into Itoku and Asero markets in Abeokuta, Ogun State capital, the negative effects on local Adire fabrics, the Alake of Egbaland, Oba Adedotun Gbadebo, constituted a committee to address the issue. Oba Gbadebo laments the China fabric is fast taking the shine of indigenous Adire, which he said will adversely affect the economy of the states in particular and Nigeria in general. Julie, Abeokuta is known as the home of natural Adire, the traditional one. I don't know the business of China and our people importing Adire from China again. We are funny people. We import palm oil, we import everything. We want to import jollof rice again, cooked jollof rice.
Even egusi soup. The Chinese will never be able to produce Adire of the quality that our people produce. Because all they are after is to mass produce, you know. They are originally communists, but their capitalist tendencies are greater than those of the Americans. They want to mass produce, you know, without caring about quality. So I believe it's some Nigerians who have gone there to contract them to begin to produce this thing with the promise that they will make a lot of money. Of course, in terms of the cost of production, it will be lower over there because the pains that those women go through, they are not going to go through. They are going to use machine to deliver what those women deliver. But what they come up with is inferior to what those women painstakingly deliver. And the governor said the other day that he was worried about the fact that Chinese were beginning to flood our markets with Adire produced in China. So there has to be protectionism, at least to an extent. I've not seen any country that flings its gates open to all commerce. We have to promote local industry. There should be some things that foreigners will not get involved. Like foreigners getting involved with retailing of goods. I mean, it's wrong. It should only be those things that our own people here cannot readily produce. We have to produce local industry. Otherwise, it will lead to rampant employment and it will worsen the livelihood of our people. We cannot allow the Chinese to come in and produce literally everything. When we talk about palm oil, in the case of palm oil, we are even not producing enough because we have chosen to regress in the area of agriculture. So we are not even producing enough of our palm oil needs now. So we are importing. But Adire, who says that we are not producing, who says that we need the Chinese to bring Adire, they are poor quality Adire, into our country. We don't need it. I commend the Alake for stepping in. I expect the governor of Ogun State to do whatever it takes, because the tradition, the rich history, and the sense of industry of our women will be defeated the moment they know that the market is flooded with cheap alternatives. I once said on this program that some time ago I costed Dangote, Aliko Dangote, and I asked him, yes, why did you shut down your textile company? Because at that time his textile company was the fourth biggest in Nigeria. And he looked at me and said, oh, I didn't know that you hate me this much. I said, Alaji, why did you say I hate you? He said, the friends of the people in government, they are the one importing textiles into the country. illegally bringing them in trailer loads. He said, so how can we survive? And it's true. If we have local textile companies here and we allow Akosombo, allow all of them to flow, our people have this taste for anything foreign.
Yes.
So if we allow the Chinese to continue to bring it, one, it will be cheaper than our own, but it will never be as good as our own. And our people, a lot of them will go for something cheap. So we have to address this. We don't need Chinese Adire in our country.
They'll say if it's not Panadol, it can't be the same thing as Panadol. When you look at the tie and dye, the way they process it, the uniqueness and everything, there's no how the Chinese people can pirate this and bring it to our country and you see have that same quality as said by Jide.
It can be, and I totally agree with Jide, what Jide said. Some weeks back, I was in Abeokuta, and I went to some of these places where they sell this Adire product. Where you need to see the quality of what these people display. The colors, different colors, the beauty. In fact, very close to Olumorok. That place, that particular point is very close to Olumorok, the popular Olumorok. And they're relatively cheap. When compared to some of these other things, they're relatively cheap. And they come in different qualities. Those of 5,000, that was 7,000. I think the highest I saw was about 15,000 thereabout for 4 or 5 yards, the biggest of the qualities. And it was good. So I would have, I think the government should review its policies and put a total ban on importation of items like Adire into the country. Because that's the only way we can protect it. If not total ban, then place a very huge tax on anybody that brings that in. That will deter people from importing those products. But the question you ask yourself, if you put a ban on it, what of our porous borders? Because most of these things don't come. They come in through the north. They come from through the borders in the north. If you go to some northern part and see, that is where you get to see most of this. Not only Adire, there are some other cloth materials that you are Guinea, like what we call Guinea brocade, and the rest of them that are manufactured there. But you also ask yourself, apart from that of Adire, how many textile industries do we have in Nigeria? Those days there used to be Asaba textile, there used to be Kaduna, I think Kaduna textile. Oshomole made his name from being a textile, Adan Shomole made his name from being a textile worker. He was the president of the textile union in Kaduna textile. So I totally agree, but it's good enough. Also, another thing is projecting this product. If you look at some of our people, they're already doing that. Okay. If you look at someone like, Okonjo Iweala, yeah. I'm sure you've been seeing her.
What's the Ankara?
Ankara. Her own is Ankara, Adire, anywhere you see her. That is the way, that is because our leaders also have to up the antics by making sure that when you see an average Indian, just by seeing the way he dresses is enough to tell you that where he's from. And that is what, and some of our leaders have been, someone like former President Olusegun Obasanjo, you always see him adored in those days. Even the governor of Ogun State, I've seen severally on the. So what we need to do is, as I said, try to stop the importation, put a total ban on some of these products that we produce there. And if for any reason anybody wants to, then just like some other products, then we pay a high premium on tax. That in itself will deter some of them from importing them.
On the final note on this, there's even a woman that is abroad now, that she's a lecturer. She lectures this Adire how to make it in a university in the United States. I saw the documentary on CNN. I've forgotten her name, but she's very, very popular to show you that our people are really making exploits with this Adire.
Yes, and Nigerian homemade Ankara prints too are doing very well. The wife of Obama had a Nigerian designer.
Michelle.
Because yes, Michelle was used to wear some Ankara prints. They were designed by her Nigerian designer. You know, people say that Ankara is not flexible, but when you see Michelle wearing it, you know that, look,
Which will
it's all a
carry.
lie. Yes, and it will sit well on her body. So but I'm worried about the influx of this Adire from China. I've seen some of them even in Abuja. There's a place where I buy some textile materials in Abuja. When you look at them, you know that these are not Nigerian Adires. We need to do something to protect these women. Otherwise, this business that was handed down from generation to generation will just die during our time. Because if you don't stop the one-time importation of Chinese fabrics, like Adire especially, those women will become discouraged because people won't patronize them anymore. And that will be the end. It's one of our biggest exports to the world. We can't open our eyes and let some money-chasing Asians come and destroy our heritage. We've got to do something.
All right. Age, they say, should be